Wall. Okay, done.
Okay, so I shall continue. So regarding that NEET examination, there is some recent changes that you can notice. So I wanted to be very precise, and dear students, so those who are sitting and were keenly listening, I want you to make down some points, or please keep it in your mind, some very important things regarding the NEET examination 2025. How is it going to affect the examination of 2026? So if you look at the paper has been NCERT centric, but it has been more of, you can say, that is logical driven. The second thing is the paper was not really very tough. We can say it was moderate. Then, what is the major change that you can see from 2024 to 2025? The most important change that you can notice is, in the 2025 paper, there are at least 4 to 5 questions in each subject which were specifically designed to the students who had an edge over the others. So these questions were rather to be taught by the student himself, because it would not be taught in any colleges or any institutions. These questions were rather logically to be taught by the student. Next thing is the type of questions. If you look at the question, each question was designed precisely in such a way that each of the answer had several layers. So the first thing is, as far as biology is concerned, the previous opinion would be, if you read NCERT thoroughly, properly, then you can crack the NEET examination. But it is not about how many times you read the NCERT, rather how well you have understood in between the lines of NCERT. So each and every line is important. At the same time, where exactly whether it is a small comma or whether some exceptions are given, even that single exception is very important. The second thing is statement-based question. In a statement-based question also, several layers can be seen. That means 2 statements are given, and then both may be correct, one may be correct, one may be incorrect. So you need to think properly and precisely before answering that type of question. Third is the most tough, I believe, is the assertion and reason type question, wherein the question would make you to think twice before you come to a proper conclusion. For example, one of my favorite questions of 2025 was, fig fruit is a non-vegetarian because the fig wasps actually complete their life cycle in it. Reason was, the fig plant or the fig fruit and the wasp are mutualistic organisms, and the fig wasp completes its life cycle in the fig fruit. If you look at the assertion, why assertion is, the fig fruit, that is the fig wasp, live inside the fig fruit, complete their life cycle. But does that make it non-vegetarian? That is exactly that the examiner wanted to know. Why is it so? Because if you see over the last few months, I have seen that all the reels of YouTube or Insta were directed towards, in several languages I saw, that fig fruit is a non-vegetarian fruit because fig wasps live in it. Just because a wasp lives inside the fruit doesn't make it a non-vegetarian fruit. Will be always a vegetarian fruit. Rather, all the fig wasps tried to escape from the ostiole, that is a small pore which is present. So statement 1 becomes incorrect. And the statement 2, where fig wasp and the fig plant are mutualistic, is a correct answer. So second statement only becomes correct. In that also little bit of ambiguity was there, because the fig fruit is not the one in which the fig wasp comes. Actually, it is the fig inflorescence. So that ambiguity still exists, but the examiner had taken that the second statement was correct. So assertion reason type of questions could be the most tricky ones. Third part of NEET I will tell you. This is going to be the most important thing in 2026. Where are we missing? The diagrammatic questions. So visual will be the most important thing in 2026 also. All of you, when you are studying, will be looking at the different diagrams. There is no doubt about it. But how well you see them? How many times did you draw exactly the same diagram? Okay, if I take an example, any biology students are there, I could tell you. For example, in one example of sphagnum, they have given where is the antheradial branch and the archegonial branch. So exactly you should be able to identify which is the antheradial branch and which one is the archegonial branch. Similarly, in the Mercantia, the antheradiophore and the archegoniophore, little bit slightly different, but they may ask you not just the label, but also some specific function regarding that particular identification. So diagrammatic based questions would be decisive because 4 to 5 questions are coming from diagram. The next type of questions which you can expect is from the, you can look at from the objective, that is weightage in the objective questions. See, some chapters have gained weightage. They were there from the beginning. In biology, most of the questions, that is around, say 14 to 15% of the questions, rather say 15 to 17 is exactly questions, would come from genetics and evolution. The next weightage would be in human physiology. So human physiology also equally very important, wherein 12 to 15 questions can come from there. Third, which is most neglected, maybe I'm not sure, because students think that it's a very easy for answering, that is ecology. But ecology is a very important part of NEET exam, so please prepare that part also very properly. There is no doubt about it. Next important aspect is, other chapters are all important. I am not telling one chapter is not important, this chapter is important. The thing is, some weightage, I have told you, some specific weightage, please remember them. Another approach towards the NEET is 2026 NEET exam would test you how well are you able to integrate different chapters. For example, if you are good in chemical control and coordination, then the human reproduction part, wherever the hormones are given, will be very easy for you. Similarly, in botany, if you are good in morphology of flowering plants, automatically sexual reproduction in flowering plants, concepts would be very, very clear because both of them you should be able to integrate. That type of questions would definitely be expected in 2026. Teacher is a mere facilitator, I can say. We can guide you. We can tell you where exactly to look and what to look in between the lines. But it is for the students only to precisely see how well you can actually twist or make the questions from the paragraph that you studied. Each and every paragraph that you study, frame your own questions in the best possible way, then that would become a complete learning. So these is a take-home messages which I can say. There are so many things which we can speak of. So I would rather give opportunity to my fellow panelists also. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am.